Crisco Kid.
Our next guest is he's a James Beard award-winning chef. He is also one of the judges on Chopped for I feel like it's what, 30, 40, 50 seasons, something like that.
It's about 50 years, it feels like.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, show your love for Scott Conant. Yes.
Thank you, sir.
First of all, congratulations on the new book. I believe this is your second, third book.
Fourth
book.
Fourth book.
Yeah,
I got a lot to say, man. I got a lot to
Peace, love, and pasta. And I feel like, coming out of the pandemic, out of a crazy political climate that we're in, and we're just like, put all that behind us. And let's talk about food, man. Talk about the inspiration, everything, peace, love, and pasta.
Well, I've been cooking for about 35 years now. And I got to a point where I have this this sense of nostalgia for some of the things that I grew up eating, some of the things that I've cooked throughout my 35 years. And I just got to a point where I said, I'm cooking these things for my daughters. I'm sharing this stuff at home, friends that stop by and all that kind of stuff. And I wanted to take some of those recipes and share them with people. I mean, this is a small snapshot of this 100 recipes or so that are in the book for a lot of things that I cook for the family. But, I've traveled extensively in my life, and there's inspiration from, Austria and Germany and Italy, and, there's my version of like a Puerto Rican pernil inside the book, this roasted pork shoulder, which is just admittedly bananas. It's so good.
Yeah,
it's good. It's good.
I saw that picture.
Thank you.
Do I call you Scott? Chef Scott? Chef?
Call me Scott. Yeah, you should hear what people call me. I'll take Scott. That's
you prefer that. Yeah. Okay. So, Scott, I love the book. We've had a chance to go through some of the recipes, and I got to go pick up my hard copy because I believe in supporting as much as I can. You got to sign it for me when I stop by Mora the next time, or the Americano.
Please.
But it's just so vibrant, right? The way the recipes, I like the anecdotes or the stories that you put in there. Just the colors, like everything seems to pop out. I've noticed in the beginning where you do talk a lot about family. And I have a 3-year-old son, and on air, it's changed the way that I talk about content or I present content. Has being a dad changed the way that you prepare food, or have you looked at creating meals in a different way now? Is that kind of the purpose of the book as well?
Well, definitely at home. I never cooked at home prior to having kids. I was a bachelor chef in New York City. I mean, life was pretty good.
Right.
If that's your jam. But I think the importance of having kids, I mean, you go through a transition. There is nothing like the love that you identify with a child, if you allow yourself to. And I feel like it's changed my outlook on life. It's changed the level of patience that I have for things and people and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I think if you allow it to, it's supposed to make your life better. And I think that most importantly, it's made my home life richer. And I want to spend time cooking and experiencing those things with them and for them.
Yeah, you talk about simplicity, and I guess, with having the family, with you running a couple different businesses, and you got the TV shows and everything that you're doing, we do appreciate how you've made the meals that are in Peace, Love, and Pasta just like kind of quick to do. You put it all out there. But I want to circle back to the Italian food because when we ate at Mora the other day, or a couple of weeks ago, I believe Brenda, you think she had the steak with the fries.
Yeah.
It like just melted. It's so great. And I apologize for just saying the steak. I can't remember. I'm not a food connoisseur. I apologize.
Well, listen, with Italian food, we charge by the vowel. So we call it a tagliata di manzo. And, a little trick I learned from Vanna White, charging the vowels.
About $10 a vowel, $10 a vowel.
I'm just kidding.
But the Wagyu Bolognese, that's what I had. And oh my God, with the focaccia bread.
You had the focaccia, focaccia di Recco, the big round one. That's good. Yeah.
I've never had that before. And when I wanted to wrap myself in it actually and sleep. If you made one big enough and wrap myself in it, I would have done it. It's just so it just melts. Like, why does it hit your mouth? How do you do that?
It's a good dish. It's this particular dough that's really heavy with extra virgin olive oil. So as we roll it really thin, it crisps up in that wood burning oven that we have, and we fill it with this really creamy stracchino cheese, which is, I mean, it's just a sexy cheese, right? It just kind of hits the palate, and the wild thing about that focaccia is that you just want to go grab another piece. It's kind of like an Italian version of a quesadilla, kind of, right? I mean, I love
quesadillas, but I would think this is another level, man. I love quesadillas.
I'll take that.
It's another level. Scott, when you create these dishes, are you thinking about like the foodies or the influencers? Shout out to AZ Foodie. Actually, I saw one of her posts, and that's why I went in there and I was like, let me check it out. I go to Cold Beers and Cheeseburgers enough. Let me walk across the parking lot.
Thank you.
But just for the food critics, the customers that come in, or just people that know you as the celebrity chef, who are you creating, or who were you picturing when you made this book?
Yeah, I'll tell you, man, I've been doing this a long time, and I have made enough mistakes to know that the only person you should be cooking for is yourself and your guests. I've made the mistake of cooking for critics in the past, and it doesn't resonate. Ultimately, I feel like critics just want the same food that you and I. You want to be comforted. You want it to be soulful. There's little creative twists that certain restaurants do, but that is not Italian food. Italian food inherently is soulful, and I think to tap into that soulfulness and provide it for anybody, they're going to be happy with it.
And don't forget the integrity, because I thought that was an important part. I've seen you talk about that in the past as far as the pasta, and the integrity of the Italian food. You keep that with your dishes, and we appreciate that. We appreciate what you're doing over there, Scott. Man. Thank you.
I appreciate somebody's listening to me. I appreciate that.
I just feel like chefs, and I feel like artists in music, and it is all the culinary arts, or it's music arts, and with radio, and you have your critics or whatever. And I think you do have to make music as an artist for yourself, but then you got to make sure, because that's going to keep you happy. That's going to keep you sane, like
that's
mental
fulfilling.
Health. Because you can't keep pleasing everyone, especially like in radio. And just to see you say that out loud, I think that feels good for a lot of people to know that, okay, I'm on the right path.
When I started my business years ago, there were three kind of pillars that I needed to live by, and that was honesty, integrity, and soul. And those are the three pillars that, I feel like everything I cook needs to have: honesty, integrity, and soul. Simple as that.
Yeah, there we go. I love that. I want to, speaking of the artists and how we said, culinary arts or music is the arts. Are you familiar with the Verzuz battles that are happening right now?
No, tell me.
Man, there's been so many. It was Brandy versus Monica. We just had the Lox versus Dipset. There was Fat Joe versus Ja Rule. There was, they took classic artists in hip hop and R&B and soul, and they take two artists and they just kind of go through their records. It's like hit for hit, right?
I saw this one. Was with Babyface, and because I love Babyface, and I can't remember the other artist, but I think he started Guy, if I remember correctly. The
Blackstreet and so many other groups. He's been a part of all. Yeah,
the talent level that those guys have, I was blown away, because every song. I came up in the 80s, and hip hop in the 80s is very different, obviously, than it is today. So I still go back and listen to the old school stuff, because I'm old, man. And that's the stuff.
You ain't old, man. You ain't old. Trust me, man. Especially you're keeping it look fresh. But I want to bring it back to Verzuz right quick, because if there was to be a Verzuz, and I know you don't like competing, so think of this as celebration of, I pay attention. So think of this as a celebration of food and culinary arts, right? Is there anyone that you would probably do like a chef Verzuz with? Like, I know you hang out with Bobby Flay and so many other chefs out there from different shows. I mean, who
you're gonna really
culinary arts with?
You're putting me on the spot, man. Right? I got to go tick for tack, right? With another chef.
Right.
Listen, man. I'm proud of what I do. I ain't scared. I ain't scared.
I'm saying, who call somebody out right now? Chef Scott, call them out right now. Let's go.
I'm gonna let you do that. Let's see if MC Hammer can cook. We'll get him out of retirement.
Hey, that might be a whole different level right there, man. Call an artist out that thinks they can cook and have that happen.
As long as I don't have to wear his pants, I'm up for it, man.
Okay.
That's
Hey, Chef Scott, I'm gonna end with this. Peace, Love, and Pasta, the name of the book out right now. What is the dish from your book that you would have to cook for someone? I don't care if it's a significant other, if it's a family member, a close friend, but y'all kind of fell out and there needs to be kind of an apology. I want to call this the hashtag MakeUpMeal. What meal is that from Peace, Love, and Pasta?
That's a good question. There is a polenta recipe inside there with mushrooms, stewed mushrooms, and this truffle sauce. And it's on the menu at Mora. It's on the menu at the Americano as well here in Arizona. But I always say that when I was single, that was the dish that, I'd send, 4 women come into the restaurant, you drop one in the middle of the table, and it would inspire conversation at the very least. So it's this polenta that's cooked for about 2 hours, and it's finished with butter and Parmesan cheese. It's made with heavy cream and milk, and it's like this pudding almost, and it's decadent. It has this little sweetness. It has a perfect texture to it, and it's topped with this mushroom jus of deep earthy mushrooms with a little bit of a truffle essence in the backdrop of it. It is naughty. And if you got to make up with somebody, you might as well just throw it down and put it on the table and be like, I'm sorry.
It's like food porn or word porn, what you're saying right now, man. I can't, oh my God. Ladies, there you go. The polenta. Gonna get it done. Let's go to the love right quick. If you are trying to impress a first date, or maybe it's date night, what is that dish from Peace, Love, and Pasta?
Listen, there is this chicken cutlet play on a Parmesan. Now, it depends on, you always got to take into consideration what they eat and what they don't eat, right? But I feel like a chicken parm is something that's just going to make most people happy. This is a chicken cutlet, but instead of doing tomato sauce over the top of it and making it soggy with mozzarella and all that kind of stuff, I take baby tomatoes, just kind of cook them really slowly so that they burst and all this pectin comes out, and it's really sweet, and that little pop of fresh tomato flavor over the top of chicken cutlets with a nice big hunk of burrata on top of it and some fresh basil and oregano inside the thing. And I'm telling you, it makes people happy.
We're still talking about food, right? We're still talking about
buddy.
Yeah, all right. And then, with the holidays coming up, you don't see a lot of pasta dishes during the Thanksgiving or Christmas, or maybe it just depends where you're at in the country. But what's the pasta dish, because Peace, Love, Pasta, from your book that's going to take your holiday meal to the next level?
There are a lot of them. There is, if you want to stay in the kind of the category of pasta, there's a dumpling in there called gnudi, which is really good. I made it on a shameless plug on Rachel Ray's show a couple of weeks ago. Gnudi, by the way, is a reference to kind of like the filling of a ravioli without the pasta on top. So it's just that ricotta, like a ricotta filling. It's, it means nude. So there's a reference there to, if you could take it, you could do with that what you will. Yeah. But in the end of the day, people eat these dumplings and they're just good. They're just good.
God. Yeah, man. And like I said, it sounds keto friendly without the dough on there. You know what I'm saying? You can enjoy it with just the ricotta cheese. You know what I mean?
You can tell yourself whatever you want. Yeah.
Whatever makes you feel good. Last one. This is the bonus. We're doing this one for Arizona. Now, I'm not sure if I haven't seen any pictures. I tried to look. I couldn't find anything with you and Larry Fitzgerald. But Scott, if you're the Arizona Cardinals, what meal are you making from Peace, Love, and Pasta to convince him to get back on the field?
I think you're making that big pork roast, and I don't know if he eats this kind of stuff, but that kind of Puerto Rican inspired roasted pork shoulder, it's going to get, you could take over the world with that thing. I feel like, people do anything you want them to do as long as they get a piece of it.
Hit him with that pork roast, baby. Hit him with the pork roast.
There you go.
Works every time for him, man. Works every time. Well, look, I love what you do. I love the restaurants. I love the shows. And we're so glad to have you here in the Valley of the Sun. You're calling this place home. And I know you've traveled so many different places, but we're glad you're right here. And again, last words for Peace, Love, and Pasta. What you got for them?
Listen, it's going to make your family happy, right? And you're going to impress a lot of people. These recipes are seemingly simple, but the result, what do you expect from a chef? You expect big flavors. You don't expect simplicity. So it's hitting both sides of it and making people happy.
There it is. There it is. Chef, thank you so much for your time today. Scott Conant, ladies and gentlemen.
Real pleasure, man. Appreciate you, brother. Thank you.